Saturday, April 11th, 2026. And it is some time for afternoon fetch with River. And it is once again raining, so we are under a shelter as opposed to over on the stoop. I do prefer to sit on the stoop, but I also like to be able to sit and not get wet. I love the rain, but I love the option of being out of the rain. I don't love the muddy dog, but you know, at a certain point, it doesn't really matter. If you let them get a little bit muddy, you might as well let them get a lot of it muddy. You're gonna have to wipe them down anyways. So I did a little bit of work on the berries this week when the weather was nice. We had a nice little fall spring, a couple of days of high 60s, low 70s, which was lovely and sunny. I filled up my yard waste bin, but I've got a lot more to do, and the new shoots are coming in, and I want to get on top of that. Because they can eat the fence all they want, the berries, the blackberries, but I'd prefer if they didn't eat the yard, and they are trying. So, but it's kind of hard to decide what to cut and what not to, because they're vines. So like something might seem obvious to snip, but then you like actually killed something farther down that was like in a good place. So some things I'm trimming, some things I'm tying back. Most things I'm dreading. But I'm gonna try to stay on top of the berries this year. And Josh is tackling the vegetable garden. And I did go through, in the front yard, we've got thornless raspberries, just a small bush, or I don't know, is it a bush? I guess it's a bush, but it's like viney stems. Who knows? I'm not gifted in the way of plants. Gardening runs in my family, but I don't feel like I was given that gift. So, in a windstorm this winter, our large and lovely wisteria got knocked over, and it laid on the ground for probably 2 months. Just really sad. But it was massive, and like it broke the trellis, it snapped beams. Josh has since rebuilt the trellis, and we consulted with an arborer about how to best save the wisteria. Like, I know wisteria is very hardy and that it grows back very aggressively, but because of the way it grew, and it was a fairly old wisteria, it was weaved in and out of the trellis. So like when that fell over, like there's no way you're untangling it. It's in there. So it needed a severe pruning down basically to the trunk part. And I noticed yesterday there is one little vine starting to come. It is just the wisp of life. But I was starting to get sad that it was completely dead. It's probably never going to be the same. But out something to do with it because we have all of these like thick mossy chunks of wisteria branches that are super cool. I feel like I should do something more than just put them in the yard waste bin or dry out a little bit, we can burn them. But I love that wisteria. I love the privacy and the shade. The flowers are nice, but you know, the first year here it only had a couple of bunches of flowers and that was okay with me. I am waiting for things to start blooming more. Should be good. So today is the 11th, and it has been 9 days since I've smoked. I have quit smoking again. I've quit everything, so both weed and nicotine, which is probably part of the reason why I was so like, on Tuesday. My normal solutions were not there to partake in. But this time I went more hardcore than I have in the past, and I gathered up not just like my actual like weed and tobacco, but I also gathered like rolling papers and my grinder and my pipe and like all of my tobacco pipe accessories, and I put them in a bag with my vape, and I put that down in our crawl space with the furnace. So it is extremely obnoxious to get to. So it has to be a very large lapse in judgment for me to go down there and get them, which I feel like is for the best. I will probably go back to smoking weed. It's just something I enjoy. I don't really love like the feeling of getting drunk or getting high. I love, you know, cleaning and creating and stuff. And doing witchcraft and stuff like that. But I don't know if I can ever get to a space that I would consider responsible, especially with vaping. It's just too easy and so tempting. I think honestly that's going to be the hardest part, is the vaping. But I think my record is like 2 months quit, so we can do this, yay. It does make outside time weirder, because normally it is fetch and smoke. I should probably stop talking about it. So I'm drinking a lot of water, which means I have to pee a lot. Been really busy this week. Probably too busy. Monday night I had games online with that group of friends. We try to meet every Monday for either RPGs or video games. Right now we are playing Abiotic Factor, which is fun. It's like a base building survival kind of game, but it takes place in an office building with like extra planar portals and creepy shit happening. It's been fun so far. Yes, Miss Dope. And then Tuesday, I ended up going over to my friend's house, and we watched Predator 2. I watched parts of Predator 2. I slept through parts. And then Wednesday was free. Josh and I started playing The Forest, which I'm interested to pick up again, but I feel like we started and where we chose. I want a tutorial in a game. I don't care if you make a tutorial that can get skipped, but like learning from reading and not like actually, I don't know, like there's a journal that kind of gives you objectives and shows you the recipes and stuff for crafting, and I don't know, it's just I want my hand held a little bit more than that, so we ended up looking up some tips and tricks and stuff online, and I'm tempted to just completely start over. We played maybe 3 hours, and I spent so much of that time building a treehouse because I thought it would save us from the cannibals, but then something was glitchy and there was no rope hanging out of the treehouse anymore, so I could not climb up into the treehouse. Also, apparently, the treehouse isn't going to save you from cannibals because they can just knock down the tree. Son of a bitch. But so it's like a survival horror base building game. So hopefully we'll play more of that today. Let's see. That was Wednesday. Thursday, Thursday I had therapy, and I recently switched therapists. I don't remember if I talked about this or not, but I had been looking into switching therapists. I had been with the same guy for like 3 years, and I just kind of felt like it wasn't very helpful. I wanted something, I guess, more structured, more goal setting, more someone to help me stay accountable, and someone to ask questions, not just someone to let me sit in silence, because I will. I think the other guy did a great job, and he helped me through a lot of weird transitions. But in my search for a new clinician, I found out that an old clinician I have was open up to new patients again. I had stopped seeing her because her schedule changed, and I didn't fit in anymore. So I've seen her twice now. And it feels more productive. So I really feel like I made a good decision for me to make that change. And I don't know, maybe it's just something that every couple years it's helpful to change and get a different perspective. I could probably bounce back and forth between the two therapists, honestly. But so I met with my therapist on Thursday, and then I went over to my friend's house again. So I went twice this week. But on Thursday I was there early enough to play with the girls and eat dinner with them and stuff, which was fun. We had a childhood recipe from my friend Kat, which was delicious. It was like canned pizza dough, cooked Italian sausage, and cheese, like wrapped up in the pizza dough and baked. Like, how can it not be good? I don't remember precisely what they called it, but I can see myself making that. That's doable. And I had to laugh because while I was there, she FaceTimed her mom and asked how long to bake it for. And her mom said until golden brown. Without any specific temperature. And that tickled me greatly. And then Friday after work, I drove, well, it's supposed to be like an hour drive. It was more like an hour and 45 minutes on the way there, to visit one of my hiking friends. She had a baby a couple of months ago, so I got to meet her baby, and it was nice to see her. We hung out, we went out, we got burgers, got an Oreo milkshake. It was delicious. And then I actually spent the night, and then this morning we met another one of our hiking trio for bagels. They were good bagels. I think I've had them before because it is not uncommon for them to bring bagels with them to share for breakfast when we go hiking. But like good chewy crusty bagels. Good shit. And I got a veggie cream cheese, and I was kind of just expecting like Philadelphia veggie, but it seemed like it was homemade. I mean, probably not the cream cheese, but it had like actual chunks of scallion and stuff in there, it was delicious. And then I drove home. So I've been gone a lot this week, and while I have fun, I kind of miss being home too. And then tomorrow, I'm meeting a friend to go hiking. I may have accidentally agreed to today, but written it on my calendar for tomorrow. So when I got a text this morning saying I'll be there at like 8:40, it's like shit, shit, shit. I texted her a bunch and called her a couple of times and finally got a hold of her. And then she came to meet us for breakfast. But I disappoint myself. Now I'm home. We gotta go grocery shopping today. Rick made a list. We've been using the same website for recipes since college. I do occasionally go elsewhere, and if I'm feeling in a particular mood, I have a collection of cookbooks. So sometimes I use those, but I just really haven't been feeling the cooking lately. So I like that Budget Bites is usually quick and easy and relatively inexpensive meals. I'll link that down below. So making a recipe that we tried once again, which was egg roll in a bowl, I think is what it's called. So you basically just make egg roll filling. And then I serve it over rice. But it's delicious. I mean, it's cabbage and onions and ground turkey. Like, it's hard to be mad at, and it's super easy, which is what I like. And then a vegetarian chili mac. And what else? Like skillet chicken dumplings. Which we don't make a whole lot, but we make what I like. And then trying a new one, which is like a pineapple barbecue chicken. So we'll see how that is. I can't imagine it's gonna be bad. I think that's another, like, making a big cast iron skillet meal. I'm a fan of the one pot meals. Should probably go do that soon. And we can just chill and play video games tonight. Yeah. Busy. And I'm in for more busy. But it's good. Alright. I will stop my ramblings. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your weekend. And I'll be back eventually.